Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and do consider supporting the channel via PayPal or Patreon. You'll find the links in the video description. There are two great clubs in West London. There's Brentford Football Club, and just up the road from them is Hammersmith Chess Club. They meet on Monday evenings at a splendid London Mind Sports Centre. It really is a wonderful venue. And it's a really friendly club. There's always loads of activity there. I recommend it warmly. I try to drop in when I can. And Hammersmith Chess Club are organising a weekend congress on the 4th and 5th of June. So, yeah, not too far away, actually. It's a classic English weekend tournament congress. 5 rounds, 3 games on a Saturday, 2 on the Sunday. Classical chess, 75 minutes for all your moves, plus 15-second increment. And there are 3 sections. There's the Open, Under 2000 and Under 1500. Prizes in all the sections. I'll be dropping in and judging a best game prize. Looking forward to that. And just to show you the kind of chess that is appreciated in Hammersmith, I'm going to show you a win by one of their players, Gaston Franco. And this was played in a match against another fine club, Ilkley Chess Club in Yorkshire, who I believe are doing fine things in that part of the world. So Gaston was white, and it's a Spanish. And his opponent, James Hall, plays the Schliemann. Now, this is a very bold opening, and I have to say, I have often struggled against this when playing with white. You know, you have to know your stuff incredibly well, and it's really easy to fall prey to this opening. Very sharp indeed. In the past, I've played knight c3. You could say that's one of the main lines, but very easy to get it wrong. Gaston played d3, which is very pragmatic. It's a very sensible move. Black exchanged on e4, knight f6, and castles. This is actually one of the main lines. It's a very sensible way for white to play. It's a bit more solid than knight c3. And here knight c3 was played. It's the most popular move. And now bishop g5. At first glance, it seems as though black is doing okay here. You'd think if black castles, then maybe there's some counter-attack on the f-file. But actually, it's not so clear. This didn't happen, but let me just show you. Knight d5, this pin is actually rather annoying. And also, black has to be careful on this diagonal. And if king h8, there's rather a nice move for white here, and that's knight h4, which prepares to exchange on f6 with one of these moves, and then queen h5. And that's quite dangerous. And it just shows that actually black's king, with just 2 pawns in front of it, can get in some trouble. But that didn't happen. After bishop g5, black played bishop g4, which I think is in some ways very logical to pin here when white's bishop is out there. And here h3 was played. I guess if black exchanges, then, well, white has got to be okay once the whole pin is sort of resolved. And that's why I guess black played bishop h5, kind of, maintaining ground. But knight d5 is an excellent response. And here a6 was played. Let me just show you what happens if castle's kingside. Then this is fun. And now check, watch out. Knight g5 is a beautiful idea. If bishop takes queen, then it's not quite checkmate, but it's pretty good for white. There's a check there. Not all forced, but you get the idea. After knight d5, a6 was played. One could drop the bishop back here. That's maybe a more conservative move, but I think bishop e2 is quite a good move actually, because knight h4 could be coming. But bishop a4 maintains the pin. b5, bishop b3. This hasn't necessarily freed black from his troubles because that bishop has now reached an excellent diagonal. But knight d4, this is the idea, of course. And there's a bit of pressure here. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes. And here, well, white could simply break this pin with g4. Let's say knight takes, pawn takes, bishop goes back. And queen d3. I mean, I think white is better here. Perhaps knight h4 is coming. Maybe knight back here to control f5. But it's still quite double-edged. You know, that's a pretty good piece. And, well, if white gets it wrong, then white's king's a little bit exposed. But instead of that, Gaston wanted to have some fun. He played, wait for it, knight takes knight. And now comes the sparkle in the game. He told me that he simply couldn't resist this. He hadn't calculated exactly, but just played it on feel. And it does feel incredibly dangerous. For the moment, white has just one piece for the sacrificed queen, but this one is attacked, this one is attacked, this is attacked. Well, it's looking like good fun. Now, my computer tells me that queen b8 is the best move, but that still looks pretty tricky to defend, you know, with white's really active pieces. In any case, very hard to defend this position. Queen c8 was played. Knight d7, and knight c7 check. King e7, and simply rook takes bishop. So, you know, there's nothing immediate for white in this position. The material balance is two knights against a queen. But white is so active and has real control over these light squares. It's certainly not an easy position for black to play. Rook threatened, so rook a7. Knight d5 check, that's a nice move. So if king takes, then knight b6, discovered check, and then knight takes queen. White is a pawn up in that endgame with a very nice positional advantage. So black wants more. Black is trying for more. King f7, he didn't want to compromise. Rook d3, I like this, that this knight is just left hanging there. If queen takes, knight c3 wins the queen back. White retains the extra pawn and, well, has a nice positional advantage as well. So, again, black didn't want to compromise here. Rook e8, understandable. And now knight e c7. So the other knight goes into c7 and starts to open up this diagonal. So if rook takes, discovered check. Knight takes, and rook f3. Well, two rooks against the queen should be winning for white. Certainly with that fantastic bishop. So in this position, knight e c7 has just been played. King f8 steps out of the line of the bishop. Knight takes. King takes, so a bit of material has been grabbed back. But crucially, white maintains the initiative with these splendid pieces. And now this rook swings across the board. And you might think that somehow, you know, with a couple of pieces being traded, that the position is perhaps stabilised for black, but actually it is so hard to defend with this monstrous knight on d5. And Gaston has judged it very well indeed. The rook comes across to try to defend, but after check, the rook came back, and now a nice move. Of course, you don't exchange, just switch back, and now that rook dominates the 7th rank, and this is really nasty. And in fact, white should be winning now. King d8 is really the only way for black to continue, but after this, well, this is a very cool move. I like this. f5, knight c7. Knight wants to hop in here. For example, takes, check. That's winning for white. And if black gives up the queen, well, here white is 2 pawns up, a splendid bishop, and I think with care, I think white can shepherd those pawns home. So that's just been played, rook g7, and now rook f7, and rook takes, and that was the final move of the game. Of course, if king takes rook, then knight b6, discovered check, and the queen has disappeared. Beautiful game. Congratulations to Gaston Franco. Really nice stuff. So, just a reminder, Hammersmith Chess Club organising a congress on the 4th and 5th of June. If you're interested in playing, do check out the club website. I'll put details in the video description and in the comments, at the top of the comments as well. I can warmly recommend the club, the venue. Even if you don't make it to the congress, do check out Hammersmith Chess Club on Monday nights. Thanks for watching.